Hello friends, welcome to my channel Creating Essence. I am Megan. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today I'm filming for you my 16-week pregnancy update. Yes, it's already been a month since my last update. I'm actually in my 17th week, but I'm trying to do these updates every 4 weeks, so we'll call this the 16-week update. I had a prenatal visit with my midwife yesterday and things are going really well. I still haven't gained any weight. I am down 5 pounds for the full pregnancy, which is pretty normal for me. Usually by now I've started gaining a little bit, but it's not really a big deal. I'm starting to feel the little first flicks and wiggles of movement, though with my placenta being on the front of my uterus, I feel a whole lot less than normal, but I do still feel some movement at times, which is really neat. I am fortunate enough to have a Doppler at home, so I get to check in on her heartbeat anytime I want for a little bit of assurance and feel better about things and know that she is happy and swimming around in there. Thankfully, the morning sickness has pretty much all gone away at this point, and I am really grateful. I have figured out that I did need to tweak my diet a bit. I knew really early on in the pregnancy that anytime I had any sugar, like a piece of candy or anything, I would get really sick. Well, it seems to have progressed into being any starches at all, and dairy. Instant nausea, and I almost always throw up. Not necessarily a bad thing for my health, but it's kind of funny to me considering for January and a lot of February, I pretty much lived on starches like pretzel rods and plain white rice. Maybe I just overdid it. My body got really sick of it. I don't know. But I am on a pretty intensely clean diet now, which basically means mountains of vegetables. And only the non-starchy ones, because even sweet potatoes and yams make me feel yucky. My stomach is still a bit sensitive, so I can't really eat a lot of meat. And because I can't do dairy, my protein is kind of limited to eggs and nuts and seeds. I eat a lot of raw cashews, almonds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, things like that. In this last week specifically, I have kind of become a bottomless pit, so I think it's safe to say she's having a growth spurt right now. I've started having a lot of round ligament pain, especially when I try to move very much or in bed in particular. So yeah, I think there's a lot of stretching and growing going on right now. In case you missed it, in our gender reveal video, which I will post in the info box below. It's adorable and really short if you just want to watch it just for fun in case you missed it. Baby is a girl. We found out from our prenatal testing. It is a girl. She has no chromosomal abnormalities. We are super blessed and grateful for that. Another thing that we announced in that video that I found out a lot of people missed because they didn't watch it till the end, we have chosen a name. Her name is Giovanna Brielle. Giovanna is Italian and is the feminine form of John, and it means gift from God, which we thought was really perfect for this little surprise package. Brielle is just a beautiful French name that means God is my strength, and we really like that, and we thought it sounded nice with Giovanna. The kids have already nicknamed her Baby Gia. Especially since changing my diet, my energy has come back so much. My mood has lifted so much. This past week I've started getting back into a sort of modified version of my miracle morning routine. If you don't know what that is, I'll post a link to it in the info box below, but it's just kind of how I get my day going and get things organized, get my self-care done every single day to make sure I'm ready for the day to be the best mom, wife, and person I can be. So instead of getting up at 5, I'm getting up at 6. I'm not doing tons of intense work like I was before, but I'm getting up, I'm getting started with a cup of tea and some Bible and prayer time, and I'm letting myself really get used to this first week of getting up intentionally again and getting going. And then next week, my plan is to work exercise back into that. I can still do plenty of exercise, and for me personally, it's really important to be mindful of pelvic floor strength and taking care of my core because I do have a healing but very significant diastasis recti or diastases. I do have strategies for taking care of that in the postpartum recovery like splinting, but it is really important to still maintain strength during pregnancy for that. So that is something that I am planning to get started on next week once my body has had a full week of getting used to getting up at 6 a.m. and getting moving. I am just inexplicably grateful to be getting my energy back. At our prenatal appointment yesterday, we did schedule our 20-week anatomy scan. We already know the gender, but that ultrasound is so good for so many things besides just finding out the gender. I know for a lot of families that's like the big deal of it, but especially when you're having an out-of-hospital birth like we are, it's really important to make sure that the placenta looks healthy, that the baby, every single thing about the baby is good and healthy. The heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the bladder, everything is developing perfectly so that there are no surprises and no need for critical care or emergencies once the baby exits the womb. We are having an out-of-hospital birth unless some emergency arises. So far, I am still considered very low risk. We currently see a practice of midwives at a birth center, and they do birth center births and home births. So right now we are signed up for the birth center, but we still can choose whichever we like when the time comes. I have given birth to 5 very large babies without complication, and I am considered a very low risk, good candidate for out-of-hospital birth. And the birth center is literally 2 minutes from our state's highest level neonatology center. So we are in very good hands. I would love to answer any questions you all have about home birth or birth center birth and how one makes that decision if you'd care to hear about our decision-making process. Joss is also happy to join me if you all have questions specifically for dads regarding this whole pregnancy, birth, labor, home birth, birth center stuff. Speaking of questions, as always, I asked on my Instagram if anybody had any questions for me in this update. I was really late getting it posted because I didn't expect to be able to film this afternoon. So I only have one question, but it's a great question. Okay, I guess it's kind of two. How excited are the kids? The kids are thrilled, really thrilled. Like, I can't even tell you. They are so excited to meet baby Gia. Every time we go to the store, we have to look at the baby section, and they're always talking about her. They're excited to share rooms with her. And that was actually the second question. How will you be doing room sharing for the kids? Well, we typically do co-sleeping and bed sharing from the start. So the baby will be with me and Josh in our bed or just in her own bed in our room from her birth. And we usually around 10 to 12 months start transitioning the baby to a crib. We've noticed with our kids that they tend to hit this developmental milestone where you can tell that when they're waking up during the night, they're just thirsty and want a sip to drink, and then they go right back to sleep. And sometimes the movement and the noise of us in the room tends to disturb them more. So that's when we kind of take that cue to start transitioning them during naps and such to their crib and getting them used to falling asleep in that environment and transitioning in that direction. And when that time comes, Giovanna will be in the girls' room. Right now the girls, Annie and Ella, are in our upstairs master. So it's a pretty good sized room, even though they already have a twin size bed and a full size bed and all their girl stuff in there. They have plenty of room for a crib and a changing table and a little pint-sized dresser. And they're really excited to get to share a room with another girl. Right now we have a girls' room and a boys' room, and that will continue to work out pretty well for the foreseeable future. We do have actually 2 additional bedrooms, so at any time that we need to split kids up, give more room, people want some privacy instead of being all together, we can certainly make that happen as well. But right now, they really like having a boys' room and a girls' room. And that's all the questions. That's all I can really think of to tell you all. If you have any questions for me, put them in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer them either in a reply or do another video if it's something that needs a whole other video to answer, like if it's a common question that I get that I want to let you all know, or it's a really long answer, I'm happy to do that for you. So put those down in the comment section below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you like this video, as always, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to hang out for more.